6'4", number 7, Kevin.
And we welcome you to the Toyota Center here in Houston, Texas, as I am Vinny from Vita Productions, as NBA 2K26 presents another 2025-2026 season playthrough here, as we are now on the calendar date of November 14th, 2025, where the Houston Rockets play host to the Portland TrailBlazers. As we see, the Rockets are 4-6 on the season. The Blazers are 3-8, and Blazers are going through a lot of string of injuries, as well as the firing of head coach Chauncey Billups for being involved in a illegal gambling ring involving the Mafia here. As we look at the starting lineups for the visiting Trailblazers: Drew Holiday, Scoot Henderson, Toumani Camara, Deni Avdija, and Robert Williams III. For the Rockets, you have Drew Holiday's brother, Aaron Holiday, followed by Amen Thompson, Kevin Durant, Jabari Smith Jr., and then you have Alperen Sengun. As you see the Rockets winning the toss here, as Aaron Holiday has it over to Amen Thompson. Back over to Holiday. Holiday's coming through, back over to Durant. This is the second time we have seen the Houston Rockets actually being featured in one of these season playthroughs here. As you see, Durant will get the shot up, and that is good, and the Rockets off to a 3-0 start. They were blasted by the Oklahoma City Thunder in the season opener when the Oklahoma City Thunder had the ring and ceremony night, the ring and banner night. You see Williams III get it over to Henderson here. As you see their last game against the Pelicans, they scored 113 points. And you see Amen Thompson will grab the rebound off the miss. Back over to Holiday. Holiday coming. Back over to Jabari Smith Jr. here. You see Smith Jr. There's a shot. That is no good. Camara will grab the rebound. Back over to Henderson. There's a three-point shot. That is no good. Thompson with the rebound. Aaron Holiday with it. Being guarded by his brother Drew. That should be a very interesting matchup. Is Alperen Sengun. He's going to come around with the layup, and that is good. And the Rockets up by 5, a minute and a half into the game here. I want to apologize to everybody. I've been trying to get to at least one game out a day, but as you see, Drew Holiday for 3, he drains it, and it's 5-3. And Scoot Henderson, though, I believe he had the assist on that one. He had 29 points and 5 assists in the loss to the Pelicans. Durant inside the paint. That is good. Kevin Durant has 5 points already early on here as we're 2 minutes into the game. I do want to apologize once again to everybody, as I usually try to get a game out every day, but unfortunately this past weekend I have not been able to get anything done because Friday I was too busy with getting ready for like a trunk or treat for Halloween. Saturday I was too drained, and then yesterday, or Sunday, I was riddled being sick. So now I'm back to recording content here. You see Durant. He's going to get that shot attempt. That is no good. Williams with the rebound as Drew Holiday passing it over to Avdija. Avdija has it, and that's good. Deni Avdija, 17.9 points a game this season on average here. It's a 2-point game right here, 3 minutes into the game, as Alperen Sengun. Give it over to Aaron Holiday. Holiday misses the 3, and that is no good. Williams the third with the rebound, as Avdija has it again. Back over to Williams the third with a slam dunk, and that's good, and we are tied at 7. I will discuss a couple of projects that I'm going to be doing pretty soon on this channel. As you see, Durant for 3. That is off the rim, no good. Williams the third with the rebound. Portland at 3-8 on the season. As I said, they are riddled with injuries, as well as, of course, the firing of Chauncey Billups as head coach. You see Henderson passes that one off. Avdija had it for a second, but he passes it up. Scoot Henderson for 3. That is off the rim, no good. Amen Thompson with the rebound. Durant with it. Back over to Thompson. Durant once again coming around. He's going to get that shot up. That is good. Kevin Durant with 5 points in this game. And he's averaging just a little under 27 points per game at home this season for the Rockets. Rockets off to a slow start. They are 4-6 on the season. The Blazers, really no expectations. But as you can see, they are not off to a good start either. They are 3-8. 4 to shoot. 3. Holiday coming around. That is good, and we are all tied again. Kevin Durant crossing the timeline now as we are just about 5 minutes into the first quarter here, tied at 9. Going over to Alperen Sengun. And the Rockets are back on top. As we see Holiday with it. Get back over to Williams the third. Henderson with it. Back around, coming through. As you see, Robert Williams the third only had 9 points, 15 rebounds, and 3 blocks in that loss to the Pelicans in their last game out. As you see, once again, the Rockets with it. You see Amen Thompson with it, back over to Alperen Sengun. Sengun inside the key now. He goes inside the paint. Coming through, and Sengun is going to get the layup, and it's good. It's a 4-point Houston lead again. He has 6 points. The rest of the team has 7. But those other 7, I believe, 5 of those belong to Kevin Durant. Holiday for 3, and he drains it. Drew Holiday with the 3, and it's a 13-12 game here. As we are over the midway point of the first quarter here, 1-point game. Holiday almost got called for a backcourt violation there. Durant. There's a layup there for Durant. He now has 8. Or no, 7 for Durant. As Amen Thompson with the assist there. It's a 3-point lead now for the... Back to 3 points again for the Rockets, as I say. As we're under 10 on the shot clock for the Portland Trailblazers. Back to Kamara. Holiday for 3. He drains it, and we are tied up again at 15. Good pace the first quarter here. As we are under 5 to play in the first, we're tied at 15. Kevin Durant coming through. Kevin Durant getting past him. Durant going to get the shot up, and that is no good as Camaro grabbed the rebound. Crossing the timeline, back over to Holiday. Holiday with it. Coming through, he's going to get the layup, and that is good. Drew Holiday puts the Blazers on top. He has 13 already on 5 of 6 shooting. And Portland's on top for the first time in this game. Durant for 3. That is off, no good. Avdiva with the rebound. You see Holiday coming around, passing it back to Kamara. Kamara for 3. That is off the rim, no good. Williams. Reach-in foul called against Amen Thompson, and we're going to get our first set of substitutions for the Rockets, at least. As Shepard's coming in, Easton's coming in. Williams inbounding it over to Holiday. Back over to Kamara. Kamara passing it back over to Henderson. Under 5 to shoot. Scoot Henderson's going to get the layup, and that is a shooting foul called against Amen Thompson, his second already. As Scoot Henderson's going to go to the line. Capella out on the court for the Rockets. Portland has had 3 three-pointers made and 8 points in the paint. That is all the points they've had so far. See Henderson will make the first one as Portland is now up by 3 here as we have some substitutions being made by both teams. And that is off, and that is actually in. Capella will inbound it to Davison. Trailblazers on a 7-0 run, as you see Easton with it. With a Capella, and Capella is deflected, and that's going to go out of bounds, but the Rockets will retain possession here. As Tari Easton had 14 points and 6 rebounds in the win in their last game against the. As Shepard is back into the game now. Capella back over to Ogaji. Finney Smith with it. Back over to Shepard. Shepard over to Capella. Capella, that is off the rim, no good. Rockets on a scoreless drought now. You see Grant with it, passing it over to Abdiha. Abdiha, he misses it, but Robert Williams III will grab the rebound, and he'll get the points there. It's a 6-point lead now for the Blazers. They're the largest of the game. Rockets led by as many as 5, I believe. They see Capella with the slam dunk, and that is back to a 4-point game again. The Blazers on a 12-4 run. Grant back over to Thibault. Matthias Thibault coming through, and that's good. That's his first points of the game, and it's 23-17 Portland. 2.5 to play here. You look at the field goal shooting. Portland 9 of 16, and the Rockets 8 of 16. So both teams are shooting for the field well early in this game. You see Shepard with it, passing it over to Josh Ogaji. You see Ogaji for 3. That is no good. Williams will grab the rebound. The Blazers up by 6 already. Ogaji, no good. As Dorian Finney-Smith, who recently came back from an injury. You see Eason give it back over to Shepard. Over to Shepard. Shepard for 3. That is no good, as Abdiha will have it. As we're under 2 minutes to play here in the first quarter. Portland's up by 6. Grant. There's a shot. That is good. Jeremy Grant. 19.5 points a season. Shepard with it. Coming through. Back over to Dorian Finney-Smith. Back it over to Eason. Under 7 to shoot here. Finney-Smith back to Ogaji. Ogaji to Finney-Smith. Back over to Eason. Eason for 3. That is off. No good. Matthias Thibault will grab the rebound. Under a minute to play here. It's an 8-point lead for the Blazers as Abdiha. Matthias Thibault will get the assist there. It's a 10-point lead now for the Blazers. Shepard is going to get the layup, and that is good. As Shepard brings the deficit back to single digits again. Blazers on an 18-6 run in the last almost 10 minutes. Thibault back over to Abdiha. Abdiha shoots it from inside. That is good. Back-to-back buckets by Abdiha, and it is a 10-point lead again for the Blazers. Portland shooting 60% from the field in this first quarter. The Houston's 45%. As you see Shepard with it, as the shot clock is turned off. Shepard passing it over to Ogaji. Josh Ogaji for 3. That is no good. And that will do it here. We are at the end of the first quarter. The Portland TrailBlazers leading the Rockets 29-19. We'll be back. Back here in Houston, 10-point lead for the Blazers. Start the second quarter here. As Wesley is now in the game for the Blazers. Coming over, back over to Verklingen. Klingen will get the dunk, and it's a 12-point lead for the for the Blazers, I say. Davison back into the game. He was in shortly for the first quarter. Josh Ogaji with it. And I see Wesley, Thibault, Klingen, Grant, and Murray. I believe that's Chris Murray, the brother of Keegan Murray here. That's in the game for the Blazers. As you see the slam dunk there, it's back to a 10-point game again. Matisse Thibault back over to Wesley. 14 to shoot on the clock. Wesley coming through. And that is for Klingon. And Klingon will grab another bucket there. 4 points already to start off the second quarter for Klingon. Davison. Over to Dorian Finney-Smith, back over to Eason, to Shingen. Alpern Shingen will make the shot. That is good. He has 10 points. Perfect 5 of 5 shooting from the field. See Wesley with it for the Trailblazers. And that's stolen by Dorian Finney-Smith. Over to Josh Ogaji. Ogaji coming around. It's inside the circle. Passing it over to Davison. 14 to shoot on the shot clock. Josh Ogaji, 4-3. That is off, no good. Klingon will grab the rebound. See the rebound edge, 13-6 in favor of the Trailblazers here. We're only about 2 minutes into the second quarter. Wesley misses it. Back over to Thibault. Thibault for 3. He drains it. 36-23. The Blazers on top. Alpern Shingen coming around. Back over to Davison. Davison for 3. That is no good. Grant will grab the rebound. I see Grant with it. Give it over as he is fouled, and that is Eason called for the foul. As we have substitutions being made by both teams, I think. Yep, both teams will make substitutions as Avdija's back into the game. Holiday back into the game. Holiday for 3. That is off, no good. As Tate now into the game for the for the Rockets, I should say. Back over to Eason. Eason for 3. That is off, no good. Klingon will grab the rebound. Up by 13 now. Team that is 3-8, riddled with injuries, and also again had the firing of head coach. And they are off to a really fast start in this first half right now. Leading by as many as 13. Holiday for 3. That is no good. Shungen will grab the rebound. Tate with it. Drew Holiday, 13, 5 of 8 shooting. He's 3 of 4 from the three-point line. Easton for 3. That is no good. Klingon will grab the rebound. Holiday with it now for the Blazers, up by 13 here. Just over 3.5 into the second quarter. Holiday. He's going to get the shot up. That is good. It's a 15-point lead. He has 15 points, 6 in mid-range. Back over to Eason. Eason with it. There's a jump shot. There's a three-pointer. That is good. He shot a lot of those, and now he's finally hit one. It's a 12-point game again. As you can see, Damian Lillard is one of those injuries. He's out for the season, and it's supposed to be his first season back with the Blazers, as Avdija has it. At 20 points in the loss to the Pelicans in their last game. Holiday misses that one. As we can see here, Eason with it again. Eason back over to Davison. Davison finding Eason. Eason for 3. He drains that. Back-to-back threes for Tari Eason. That's a 9-point game again. You see Holiday, Drew Holiday for 3. He drains it. That's 18 for him. He had 13 in that first quarter, but now he has 5 in the second. Tate coming around. The 10 to shoot on the shot clock. Back over to Eason. Eason over to Shingen. Back over to Tate. Davison for 3. He drains it. It's back to a 9-point game again. And now the Rockets are starting to shoot the 3 and starting to get hot from beyond the arc. As we have our first timeout of the game, actually. And that takes place with 6:42 to play in the second quarter. Gonna keep it here for this timeout because, well, usually the first timeout of the game, I usually take time to tell you what my channel is about for those who are new. I am Vinny from VDub Productions. I do sports video games. This is one of my projects for NBA 2K26, the 2025-2026 season playthrough. I usually try to get games out once every day as I go through the season here. As I mentioned, I do one game for every 2 to 3 calendar days. Play the game, Then I go through stats, and then I go through the ticker for the games I did not play for those 2 to 3 calendar days as the season goes on, so you can see the results of these games. Then I go through the injury report or any news and notes that are worthy. As I said, I try to get one game out every day. However, unfortunately, over the weekend, I was not able to get it because of either busy, being drained, or just being sick. That prevented me from doing this. However, I'm back to making some content right now. I also do college football 26 simulations. Those starting this week. I am no longer doing them on Tuesdays. I'm going to start having them coming out on Wednesdays because Tuesday nights is when they do the college football playoff rankings. And now any rankings you see among teams that I do simulations for, those are being reflected from the college football playoff rankings, because now, starting tonight, those are the only rankings that are going to matter as far as college football goes. And then I'll talk about another project I'm going to be doing a little bit later. Probably on the next time out, though. As you see, Holiday with it. Drew Holiday already has 18 points. That is off the iron. No good. Easton will grab the rebound. It's a 9-point game. Finney-Smith with it. Give it over to Shingun, and Shingun with the dunk, and it's a 7-point game. The Blazers led by as many as 15. The Rockets did have an early lead by 5 points early on in the first quarter, early on in the game. You see Tamani Kamara had 16 points in their loss to the Pelicans in their last game. Back over to Jeremy Grant. 2 to shoot. 1 to shoot. He's going to barely get that off in time. Hits the iron to avoid the shot clock violation, but Amin Thompson will grab the rebound for the Rockets here. As we're over halfway through the first quarter, or second quarter in this game. 7-point lead for the TrailBlazers. With 5.5 to play in the second. As you can see here, Durant just holding on to it. Needs to get that shot up. He does, and he makes a bucket. It's only a 5-point game. And you see Durant averaging just a shade under 25 points a game this season here. Back over to Holiday. Holiday with it. Get it over the 3. 2. Kamara with the bucket. That is good. And that ends the drought there for the Portland TrailBlazers. It's a 7-point lead now. Eason with it. Back over to Finney-Smith. Finney-Smith for 3. That is off, but Alperen Sengun with the offensive rebound and the putback for the second chance points. 43-38. Portland on top here as we approach 4.5 to play here in the second quarter. As Avdia with it. Denny Avdia with the 3-pointer there, and the Blazers are back up by 8. Thompson, he's going to come through with the layup. That is good. Or not with the layup, but as you see, Amin Thompson. 6-point game again for the Rockets. And another timeout called by the Portland TrailBlazers here. Houston making a run. Portland answering somewhat, but Houston not letting them, not backing down either. 6-point lead for the Blazers. And as I mentioned to you, the reason why I'm keeping it on for a second timeout is because I do want to explain to you my second project that I'm doing, and this other project I'm getting ready to do. As you know, a little bit later tonight, the college football playoff rankings will be coming out, the first for the 2025 season. And as part of last year I did a 24-team FBS playoff. This year I'm extending it to 28. I was thinking about doing 32, but I'm doing it 28. And I'll have details coming out about that when the video comes out. Expect for that video to come out at noon Eastern tomorrow. That will be before tomorrow's season playthrough, which will come out at 2 p.m. Eastern. So I'll have everything, like we'll have the projections of how I do my 2018 playoff. It's not going to be like, you're going to see some teams, you're going to probably complain about teams being left out. Let's just say that, because I have a formula for this. As we see, we coming out of the timeout here, 46-40. Henderson and Kamara back into the game for the Blazers. Or actually, no, I think Kamara is switching positions here. We look at it for the Rockets. We might have starting 5 back out for the Rockets. I'm not sure here. 4:04 to play in the second. Drew Holiday, give it over to Avdia. See, Avdia has made some big buckets already for the Blazers in this game. Henderson for 3. He drains it. And the lead back up by 9. 3:45 to play until halftime. From the Toyota Center here in Houston, Texas. We have the Rockets. And you see Smith Jr. for 3. Jabari Smith Jr. drains it. And it's back to a 6-point game. Again, as I said, the Blazers up by 6. They are off to a 3-8 start in this season playthrough, while the Rockets are 4-6 on the year. This is the second time we've seen it. I see Avdia with the layup. That is good. It's an 8-point game. The Blazers are shooting 62% from the field. The Rockets 53%. I see Holiday back over to Eason. Eason for 3. That is no good. Williams the third will grab the rebound. As I said, this is the second time we've seen the Rockets. This is the first time we'll see the Blazers in this season playthrough, and this will be the first time I believe we will see the Blazers. Only time we'll see the Blazers in this first schedule block. And you see Henderson for 3. That is no good. This is the Rockets' second time in the schedule block, and I believe this is the last time we will see them in the schedule block. As you see, Durant misses that one. The next time we will see either of these two teams will be in schedule block number 2. Because we have 2 minutes until halftime. As I say, I randomize these games to the first schedule block. Try to get as many unique games as I can. Henderson for 3. That is no good. As many unique games as I can. And by unique games, I mean teams that have not been featured at all in any scheduled block. You see Eason misses it, but he gets his offensive rebound. Passes it over to Durant. Durant shoots for 3. He misses it as Avdia will grab the rebound for the Blazers. Now Holiday has it for Portland. Under a minute and a half to play until halftime. It's an 8-point game. Kamara for 3. And he drains it. And the Blazers are back up by double digits. Led by as many as 15. Houston was able to get it down to within 6, but now Portland has extended it back to 11-point lead again. I see Durant up by 25, at 25 points in the win against the Wizards in their last game. Durant's going to go to the line with an and one opportunity as Robert Williams, the third, called for the shooting foul. Clint Capella coming into the game now. And that he makes that one. Back to an 8-point game again. Under a minute to play in the second. I will announce tomorrow's game in the fourth quarter, and it will be the last unique game of schedule block number 1. Avdia with it. See Avdia getting a screen by Williams for a second. He'll get the shot up. That is no good. Durant with the rebound. Shot clock is still on, so they do have to get a shot off before the end of the quarter, before the end of the half. Back over to Smith Jr., back to Durant. Durant. He will get the shot up. That is good. It's a 6-point game again, 16.1. Shot clock is turned off now, so the Blazers can hold on if they want. Henderson with it. Back over there to Kamara. Kamara for 3. He drains it. 9-point lead for the Blazers, and that is where we'll be at halftime. At the end of the first half, the Portland TrailBlazers at 3-8, leading the 4-6 Rockets 57-48. And we'll be back. Welcome back to Houston here. It's a 9-point lead for the Portland TrailBlazers as we're getting ready to start the second half. We look at Drew Holiday highlights as both the Holiday brothers are starting this game. Both matched up against each other. But it's Drew that has the upper end right now as see Williams the third inbounding it over to Avdia. The Avdia pass it back over to Williams. Henderson with it. You see Holiday, Thompson, Shunga, Durant, and Jabari Smith Jr. out into the lineup for the Rockets to start the third quarter here. As you see Thompson grabbing a rebound. As Amen Thompson coming around. Amen Thompson goes coast to coast basically with that rebound there. It's a 7-point game here as the Rockets are now up to 51% shooting. The Blazers at 58%. Both teams shot the ball pretty well actually in that first half. High scoring first half. 57-50. You see Holiday for three. That is off. No good. Blazers led by as many as 15 in this game. You see Holiday coming through. He's going to get to the line as Kamara called for the foul. That's his first. Aaron Holiday going to the line now. And he makes the first one. Just exactly a minute into the third quarter. And he'll miss the second one as Avdia will grab the rebound. Or Avdia will grab a rebound. You see Drew Holiday passing it over to Scoot Henderson. Back over to Kamara. Back over to Avdia. Oh, Kamara for three. That is no good. Amen Thompson with the rebound. Durant with it. Back over, and Avdia will take the steal there as Kamara has 8 points for the Blazers in this game. Back over to Avdia. 10 to shoot here. Over here, Toyota back over to Kamara. Kamara for three. That is no good. Thompson will grab the rebound. As we're being ready to approach 2 minutes into the third quarter. 6-point lead for the Blazers. As I said, they led by as many as by 15 in this game, and they led by 9 going into halftime. You see Durant. That's a nice bucket there, and it's a 4-point game for the Rockets. 4-point game now. Rockets still trailing by 4. And you see Avdia with the dunk there on the alley-oop. It's a 6-point lead again. See Durant with it. Back over to Smith Jr. Back over to Thompson. 12 to shoot on the shot clock. Thompson back over to Durant. Durant for three. He drains it. It's a 3-point game now. He had 16 in that first half. I now know he's over 20 points in this game as we have a timeout called by Portland. Houston still fighting their way back into this game. 9:13 to play in the third. We'll take a timeout as well. And we are back as we are looking at Denny Avdia. He's averaging 17.5 points this season, but he's averaged, a little over 20 points in those last 5 games for the Blazers. Had a pretty solid season for them in what has been a pretty down year for the Blazers so far. They're 3-8. Kamara with it. Back over to Holiday. Holiday to Kamara. Holiday with it. Over 5 to shoot here. Holiday. There's a layup attempt, no good. Williams the third with a rebound. Back over to Holiday. Holiday will get the second chance points again. It's a 5-point lead again for the Blazers. We only had one lead change, but we had quite a few ties early on. You see Durant. He misses that one, and Williams the third will get the rebound. 21 points for KD right now. 9 of 16 shooting, 2 of 5 from 3. As we're over 3.5 minutes into the third quarter, Henderson rejected. I believe that was Amin Thompson with the rejection. You see Durant with it now. Gives it over to Holiday. Holiday with the layup, and that is good. Aaron Holiday brings the Rockets back to within 3. Drew Holiday, though, crossing the timeline. Over 4 minutes into the third, Holiday will shoot the 3. That is no good as Alperen Şengün with the rebound. Durant with it. 15 to shoot. See, Durant is playing a little bit of hot potato with it. Durant with layup. That is good. It's only a 1-point lead. That's 23 for him. And he's shooting 59% from the field. Henderson. Over to Williams the third. That shot is up no good. Rebound. Now chance for the Rockets to take the lead. And Durant does put him in the lead. He has 25. The Blazers were up by as many as 15 in the second quarter. The Rockets have scratched and clawed their way back, and now they lead for the first time since early first quarter. Camaro for 3. That is no good. Şengün with the rebound. Thompson with it. Back over to Smith Jr. here. Smith Jr. back to Durant. Durant has been on fire lately. And that's going to be a charging foul against Kevin Durant. That's his first personal. You see Amin Thompson there with the block earlier in the game. Holiday with it, and there is another timeout by Portland. 6:37 to play here in the third. It's 62-61 Houston. It's time for me to take another timeout as well. And we are back here in Houston with the Rockets up by 1 here. 6:37 to play in the third quarter. As I mentioned, the Blazers were up by as many as 15 in the first half, but the Rockets have scratched and clawed their way back and have regained the lead for the first time since the early part of the first quarter. The Rockets have led by as many as 5. Is Avdiya with it. Back over to Holiday. Back over to Camara. Camara back over to, now I believe that is Holiday with it now. Holiday shooting. He hits it. Drew Holiday puts the Blazers back on top. And now we can say we have a back and forth game. I always said basketball is a game of runs. As you see, Durant for 3. That is off the board, no good. Williams the third with the rebound. Holiday with it. Over to Avdiya. Back over to Holiday. To Henderson. 9 to shoot for the. You see Henderson for 3. That is off the good, no good. Jabari Smith Jr. with the rebound. Give it over to Durant. Durant with the layup, and it's good. And the Rockets are back on top by 1. Portland with it with Avdiya. Avdiya with it. Passing it over to Holiday. Holiday back over to Avdiya. Avdiya coming around. Avdiya puts the Blazers back on top with that. 1-point lead for Portland. Durant with it. Back over to Amin Thompson. Amin Thompson for 3. That is no good, but Durant with the offensive rebound, and he gets the put up. And as I said, back and forth. 4:40 to play in the third. 66-65. Here in the third quarter, Holiday for 3. That is off. No good. Amin Thompson will grab the rebound. Give it over to Şengün. Alperen Şengün will miss it as Williams III will grab the rebound. Chance for the Blazers to retake the lead again. Henderson coming through. Scoot Henderson with the layup. That is good, and the Portland TrailBlazers are back on top. I feel like an auctioneer right now with how back and forth this is going. 1-point lead for the Blazers. Under 4 to play here in the third quarter. Kevin Durant for 3. He drains a 3. It's a 2-point lead. 32 points for Kevin Durant. He has doubled his output in this third quarter as he did all in the first half. KD with it. KD carrying this team in the third quarter. 69-67. Holiday with it for the Blazers. That's Drew Holiday. Drew Holiday for 3. That is no good. Jabari Smith Jr. will grab the rebound. Amen Thompson. There's a layup, and that is good. Amen Thompson puts the Rockets up by 4. As I said, the Rockets led by as many as 5 points in the early part of the first quarter. Ashungen will get the steal. Give it over to Durant. Durant with the layup. That is good. 6-point lead for the Rockets. He has 18 in this third quarter, and he now has 34 in total. There's a 3-point attempt. That is no good. Smith Jr. with it. Thompson coming around. Back over to Jabari Smith Jr. here. Approaching 2.5 to play in the third. Aaron Holiday with it. He has a deep inside shot. That is good. It's an 8-point lead. 2:20 to play. And the Rockets are up by 8. They're largest of the game. How will Portland now handle the adversity being down their largest deficit? You see Kamara for 3. That is in and out. Thompson will grab the rebound for the Rockets here. Thompson. That is no good as Kamara will grab the rebound here. Under 2 to play in the third. Avdia with it. Get back over to Henderson, to Scoot Henderson. Passing it back over to Avdia. 10 on the shot clock. That layup is good, and that will end the drought there. That ends that 9-0 run for the Rockets here as Houston will call timeout. 1:35 to play here. It's the Rockets up by 6 as we will take a timeout. All right, we are back here in Houston. It is 75-69. The Rockets on top. The Rockets led by as many as 8 early on just earlier in this third quarter. I see Dorian Finney-Smith back into the game now for the Rockets. He was out for a few games. I see Josh Okogie with it back over to Easton to Capella. Okogie with it. There's a shot for 3. That is no good. Grant with the rebound. So we got substitutions made on both sides. Back over to Thibault. Matthias Thibault. Passing back over to Jeremy Grant, over to Love. Love for 3. That is off as Clint Capella will grab the rebound for the Rockets here. Shepard grabbing it back over to, passing over to Okogie, and Okogie for 3. It's a 9-point lead. Looking at the TrailBlazers shooting 9 of 19 for 3. Rockets only 5 of 19 for 3 as Klingon. He had an early solid part of the second quarter here. I see Thibault for 3. He drains it. It's back to a 6-point game. Matisse Thibault still pretty serviceable off the bench for any NBA team here. As we're about 30 seconds to play left in the third. 78-72. Shepard coming around. Back over to Dorian Finney-Smith for 3. That is no good. Thibault. As the shot clock is turned off as Avdia gets it back over to Thibault. Back over to Love. Love for 3. That is off the rim. No good. Finney-Smith will grab the rebound. Easton, 4 to shoot. Or 4 to play. I see Easton going coast to coast after that rebound. And that will do it. And we are at the end of 3. The Rockets are up by 8. We'll be back to start the fourth quarter shortly. Getting ready to start the fourth quarter in Houston. We look at the State Farm assist of the game here. Look at it. You see Durant on that layup there. Didn't quite get a chance to see who made the assist, though. The Rockets see Finney Smith will inbound to Shepherd, start the fourth quarter with the Rockets up by 8 now. They led by as many as 9. Shingun with it, passing back over to Shepherd. Look at Rupert, Thibault, Klingon, Grant, and Avia starting the lineup here, and that is an illegal screen against Shepherd. Reed Shepherd called for his first foul on that illegal screen. But I just read the lineup start for the Portland TrailBlazers here. I see Rupert with it. Abdiha for 3. That is no good. Loose ball foul called against Matthias Thibault. And both teams call for offensive fouls here. You see Shepherd with it. Back over to Eason. Eason. Back over, less than 10 to shoot. Passing over to Shepherd. Shepherd for 3. That is no good. Klingon will grab the rebound. Rupert with it. Crossing the timeline for Rupert. Back over to Thibault. Thibault passing back to Avdia. Avdia with 7 to shoot. Over to Rupert. Rupert will get the bucket, and it's good. Those are Rupert's first 2 points of the game. And it's a 6-point game again, over a minute into the fourth quarter. 80-74, the Rockets on top. Alper and Shungan. And he's coming through now. Passing it over to Shepherd. Reed Shepherd for 3. That is no good as Avdia with the rebound. Back over to Jeremy Grant. Grant back to Rupert. Grant with it. 7 to shoot. Over to Rupert. Rupert for 3. Rupert. Rupert with the 3-point. He has 5 points in this already here in this fourth quarter. It's a 3-point game now. As we're approaching 2 minutes into the fourth quarter. Reed Shepherd still holding on to the ball here. 5 to shoot now. Shepherd gets that shot up. That is no good. Rupert will grab the rebound. Rupert back to Avdia. Avdia passing it over to Grant. Grant with it. Coming through. Grant with the inside shot. That is up. No good. Josh Ogaji with the rebound. As you see, Reed Shepherd with it. Over to Alper and Shungan. Shungan with 9 to shoot. 8 to shoot. Alper and Shungan back to Finney Smith. To see Reed Shepherd deep inside. No good. Klingon will grab the rebound. Rupert now has it. Rupert has 5 points in this fourth quarter already. Scored all 5 points. Thibault with it. Back over to Rupert. Grant with it. He's got to get that shot up for 3. I'm very surprised there wasn't a foul called on there. But he could have flopped too, and they were like, nope. Josh Ogaji with it, back over to Shepherd. Finding Finney Smith here, 10 on the shot clock for the Rockets here. They have not scored in this first half, or this fourth quarter here, as Denny They will go to the line, though, but after this timeout, and I'm going to keep it on this timeout because I'm going to bring you the announcement for tomorrow's game. I mentioned earlier that tomorrow's game is going to be the last unique game, which is going to be between 2 teams that have not been featured yet. Well, unfortunately, I looked at my records, and that is a mistake and another lie. Please strike what I said earlier, because we will be in Boston. Will be the first time we've seen the Celtics in this season play through as we head to the Garden, but we will see the Los Angeles Clippers for the 3rd time in the schedule block number 1, and it will be the last time we'll see them for schedule block number 1. That I can tell you right now, because we will not see them again until schedule block number 2. I already have everything for the first 2 schedule blocks randomized. But it will be the Los Angeles Clippers at the Boston Celtics, and that will be on the calendar of November. That'll be on Sunday, November 16th, 2025. That is for where the actual game will be played on. But tomorrow we'll be playing this game in advance. Kind of almost like a simulation. Who knows? But it will be the Clippers at the Celtics. Celtics not off to a good start without Jason Tatum, at least in this season playthrough, and it looks like it could be a long season for the C's in real life. As you see, Dorian Finney-Smith at the line. 3.5 into this fourth quarter, and he'll make that one. So that'll be the first points for the Rockets here in the fourth quarter. As Abdia was called for that shooting foul for the Blazers right before the timeout. And he'll make that. Both of them. It's a 5-point lead again. Abdia. He's had a pretty good game. As you see, Williams for the third. That is no good. Harris will get the rebound for the Rockets. 82-77. Kevin Durant, though, had himself a heck of a third quarter, though. 18 of his 34 came from that third quarter here. As you see, he's going to come around. That is no good. Rupert with the rebound. Rupert still staying in the game. Rupert gives it over to Matthias Thybulle. Thybulle back to Rupert. Rupert back to the... you see Rupert now again after gets it back after a couple passes here. Grant for three. Jeremy Grant. That is off the rim as Abdia will grab the offensive rebound for the Blazers. Grant for three. That is no good. Harris will grab the rebound. Back over to Durant. $7:25 to play here in the fourth. Durant back over to Finney-Smith. Easton for three. That is no good. Thybulle with the rebound. Rupert coming through. As I said, he has 5 already. Grant for three. That is no good. Shungan will grab the rebound. Easton with it. Harris coming through. Harris has it. Back over to Easton. Easton. That shot is up. That is no good off the iron, and Grant will grab the rebound here. Thybulle with it. Rupert has it. Back over to Grant. Grant. Look at that. Nice layup there by Grant. It's back to a 3-point game again. Rupert gets the assist. So Rupert has had a hand in every bucket made by the Blazers so far in this fourth quarter. Grant will grab the rebound. He scored the first 5 points. And what has been a very low-scoring fourth quarter by both teams. Thybulle with it, giving back over to Rupert. Rupert, 4 to shoot on the shot clock. Back to Grant, back to Thybulle, to Williams the third. Williams the third will make that bucket. It's only a 1-point game here as we are halfway through the fourth quarter. 82-81, Portland on top, or Houston on top. Is it over? Back over to Finney-Smith for three. That is no good. Williams the third with the rebound. Jeremy Grant with it. Back over here with 5:20 to play here in the fourth quarter. And there is an illegal screen called against Rupert. Da-da-da-da-da. Rupert. Da-da-da-da-da. Rupert. And as he's going to go to the bench again. As I believe now we got the starters coming up again. You see Holiday coming around, and Holiday puts them back. Rockets back up by 3. That's Aaron Holiday. As his brother Drew does play for the Blazers. 84-81. Williams the third coming around. Williams the third layup. That is good. It's back to a 1-point game again. See Alpern Shingun with it. Back over to Amen Thompson. Amen Thompson coming around. He's going to get that jump shot. That is no good. Williams the third will grab the rebound. Henderson now has it for the Portland TrailBlazers. Coming around. Henderson. There's a jump shot. That is no good. Alpern Shingun will grab the rebound here. 4:20 to play in the fourth. Drew Holiday. Or no, Aaron Holiday, as I said, has it. Back over to Alpern Shingun. Shingun. Back over to Thompson. Back over to Durant for three. He drains it. That's a huge three-pointer, not just for Durant, but for the Rockets here. So they're back up by 4. I believe that is now 37 points for Kevin Durant. Drew Holiday comes around this time. Drew Holiday with 24 points for the TrailBlazers. In his very highly competitive game. Though it has been a very poor shooting fourth quarter by both teams. Smith Jr. back to Durant. Durant to Shungun, and Shungun's going to go to the line as Robert Williams III called for the shooting foul. It's going to be an and one opportunity.
That's their second personal. Second team foul. At the line for 1.
Look at the scoring. Shungun. See points in the paint. 48 for the Rockets, and they made 9 3-pointers. And he misses the and one opportunity here. Still a 4-point game. Rockets led by as many as 9. The Blazers had a 15-point lead in that second quarter. Led by 9. You see at halftime, you see Scoot Henderson. That was an interesting shot there, and a very nice one. 89-87. And you see the slam dunk there. That is Amin Thompson with the dunk. And it's 91-87. 4-point lead for the Rockets here as we have as we're heading back from timeout. Don't forget, everybody, when this game is over with, we are not done yet, as we're going to go over the stats for the players, as well as the post-game ticker and the injury report, as well as if there's any worthy news and notes but for the league. I see Portland will inbound it here as Henderson with it. 2:40 to play here in the fourth quarter. Back over to Williams. Williams the third. Robert Williams III, 10 points. He has 8 of them in the paint. Back over to Alpern Shungun. Jabari Smith Jr. back to Durant. Durant for 3. He drains it. That is 40 for him, and the Rockets are up by 5 here. 2:15 to play here in the fourth. A 94-89. Henderson coming around. Pass it over, and that is off the rim. No good. Thompson will grab the rebound here. Under 2 minutes to play now in the fourth. Durant with it. That just hit a big three-pointer just a couple seconds ago on his last trip. Durant with a jump shot. That is off the rim. No good. Williams III will grab the rebound. Henderson with it. 1:40 to play in the fourth. Henderson coming around. Henderson passing it over to Kamara. Back to Avdia. 6 to shoot. Back over to Henderson. Scoot Henderson for 3. That is no good. Jabari Smith Jr. with the rebound. Kevin Durant with it. Durant coming through. Durant. That's shot up. That's no good. Kamara will grab the rebound. Kamara with it. Back over to Henderson. Henderson with a minute to play in the fourth. Henderson for 3. That is off. That is no good, but you see Williams III will grab the rebound, and we'll get the second chance points off that tip. 94-91. 3-point lead, under a minute to play. Shungun, and there is a foul called, and Drew Holiday will get called for the reach-in foul. As you see, the Durant has it again. He's at 40. That is no good. Williams III with the rebound. We got Kamara with it. Back over to Avdia. Henderson for 3. That is off the rim. No good. And now they're going to have to start fouling. And Durant will go to the line. As Durant will get the MVP chance in this game. Kevin Durant will miss the first one. Durant will sink the second one. Timeout, Portland. And we will call timeout too. 27.2 to play here in this game. We are back here in Houston. 95-91, 27.2 seconds left to play here in the fourth quarter. But we all know in the NBA that is an eternity. You see Portland about to inbound it here. Williams, the third with it, inbounding it over to Henderson. Henderson for three. That is off the iron. That is no good. Durant with it. And now there's the foul there as Kamara will be called. Again, shots will be made. He'll be going to the line again here. More MVP chance for Kevin Durant. He made the first one, missed the second one. Or he missed the first one. He did make the second one, though. Again, two huge free throws. And he makes the first one. Regardless if he makes this one, it's still going to be a two-possession game. And he makes the second one. I believe he's at 43 points in this game. See Henderson coming around. Over to Holiday. Holiday for three. He drains it. That's a three-point game now. They got fouled very quickly here as Amen Thompson's going to go to the line here. Scoot Henderson called for his first. 11.4 to play here in the fourth quarter. Again, free throws, huge free throws coming up for the Rockets. See Amen Thompson. And he'll make the first one. He makes them both. 99-94. They have to get something going here. Got to get a quick shot up. And he does exactly that, and he drains it. Timeout, Rockets. 6.5 to play, but it's still a one-possession game now. We're back here in Houston. 6.5 to play here in the fourth quarter. It's 99-97. The Rockets on top. One would assume that the Portland TrailBlazers will foul again. As see Alper and Şungun. And they're going to hand it over to Durant. Durant's going back to the line. He has shot 3 or 4 from the field in his last set of games. Last set of free throw shots. Makes them both. This game is almost academic. And he will miss the first one. Portland, though, out of timeouts, though, so they would have to get something quickly going if they miss it. And he does make the second one. Henderson with it. 4 to shoot. 3 to shoot. Henderson over to Williams for a deep 3. No good. And the Rockets will hold on. We're a 197 victory over the Portland TrailBlazers. The Rockets will move to 5-6 on the season. And the Blazers will now fall to 3-9 in this season playthrough. Oh, man, what a game. Definitely got to be a game of the year candidate here as you see Durant gonna get interviewed by Allie LaForce, but you know that in this game I turned the commentary down for the in-game commentary because you get to hear my voice. Remember, we are not done yet. Now, time to look at the statistics for the players as we head to the victorious Houston Rockets. Actually, the home team always, for some reason, gets their statistics shown first. We start off with Kevin Durant, the player of the game, 44 points, 7 rebounds, 4 assists. Alperen Sengun, 16 points and 9 rebounds and 2 assists and a steal. Amen Thompson with a double-double, 10 points, 10 rebounds, 4 assists, and a block. Tari Eason, 8 points, 2 rebounds, and 1 assist. Aaron Holiday, 7 points and 3 assists. Jabari Smith Jr. only had 1 3-pointer in the game. He had 6 rebounds and 3 assists. Josh Okogie, 3 points, 1 rebound, and an assist. Followed by J.D. Davison. He had a 3-pointer in the game and 1 assist. Clint Capella, 2 points, 1 rebound. Dorian Finney-Smith had 2 points, 3 rebounds, an assist and a steal. Reed Shepherd, only 2 points and 2 assists. Let me see. Kevin Harris only had 2 rebounds in the game. Jayshawn Tate, 1 rebound, 1 assist. Steven Adams did not play. Jeff Green did not play in the game for the Rockets. And now for the Portland Trailblazers here, we have Drew Holiday, 27 points and 5 assists. Denny Avdia, 17 points, 6 rebounds, 2 assists, and he did have a turnover. Robert Williams, 12 points and 18 assists, 18 rebounds, and assist in 1 block. Tamani Kamara, 11 points, 5 rebounds, 1 assist, 1 steal. Scoot Henderson, 9 points and 9 assists, short of a double-double for him. Matisse Thybulle, 8 points, 3 rebounds, 2 assists. Rayon Rupert, 5 points, 2 rebounds, and 1 assist. Jeremy Grant, 4 points, 4 rebounds, and 3 assists. Donovan Clingan, 4 points, 5 rebounds. I see those 4 points came early in the second quarter. Chris Murray, the brother of Keegan Murray, had no stats in 3 minutes of play. Blake Wesley, 3 assists in his short amount of time playing. Caleb Love, no stats in his short amount of time in the game. As we have Jop Reth, City Sissoko, however I pronounce his name, Young Hansen. They did not play for the Portland Trailblazers. And those are your statistics. It is now time for the post-game ticker brought to you by 2K Sports. We start off for the remainder of the games played on November 14, 2025. There are 9 games in total. We start off in the Garden, actually, where the Knicks hand the Heat their 8th straight loss. Knicks 130-109 winners over the Miami Heat. They are now 10-2 on the season. The Nets get their 2nd win in a row, 125-120 winners over the Orlando Magic. In the Motor City, we have the Sixers getting back to 500 with a 140-130 win over the Detroit Pistons. And a game that we just watched, the Rockets in a thriller defeat the Trailblazers 100-97. The Hornets over the Bucks 129-124. The Kings fall to the Timberwolves 110-109. The Timberwolves are a league best 11-1 on the season. The Lakers all over the Pelicans 165-139. Again, I kind of want to know what is up with simulation-wise. We see very high-scoring games like the ones that we see here. And the Clippers with a 121-100 win over the Dallas Mavericks. The Mavericks have now lost 5 of 6 since they started off 7-0. The Clippers are 9-3. And the San Antonio Spurs pull off the upset over the Golden State Warriors. And now we look at the games played on Saturday, November 15, 2025. We had the Cleveland. They defeat the Grizzlies 150-99. Once again, I kind of want to know what 2K logic is here with these lopsided and very high-scoring games. I mean, anybody have any idea with that? I mean, of course, it's 2K logic, but hey, a simulation here. And now we head to Charlotte where the Thunder defeat the Hornets 122-108. The Raptors 132-119 winners over the Indiana Pacers. The LA Lakers 131-124 winners over the Milwaukee Bucks. And the last but not least on that short slate of games here in the NBA on this day, the Timberwolves by a half a game still have the best record in the NBA in this season playthrough. 139-112 winners over the Denver Nuggets. And that is your post-game ticker. As my buddy RJL Network would say, if your team won, congratulations. If not, there's always tomorrow. It is now time to look at the injury report for the games after November 15th. We start off with Philadelphia 76ers. We have a new injury. VJ Edgecombe out 1 to 2 weeks with a lower back bruise, and Jared McCain is still out for another 1 to 2 weeks. Nothing to report for the Milwaukee Bucks. For the Bulls as well. The Cleveland Cavaliers, as I keep mentioning, we got Struss is out, but it looks like Darius Garland is back in the lineup because now it is Larry Nance Jr. has a hyper extended right elbow. He's out 2 to 4 weeks now. Jason Tatum, as I said, still out 4 to 6 months. Chris Paul still out 4 to 6 weeks for the Clippers, but Brook Lopez is now considered recovering. He is day to day. Zach Edey's still out for another 1 to 2 weeks with a sore right ankle. Nothing for the Hawks. And as I think Jaime Jaquez Jr. is back in the lineup for the Heat. But as I said, Rozier, he has that indefinite suspension right now due to the gambling scandal when he was arrested. Tyler Hero still out another 1 to 2 weeks. Hornets, Jazz, and the Kings have nothing to report. Neither do the Knicks or the Lakers. Orlando Magic, Wendell Carter out with a pinched nerve 4 to 6 weeks. Derek Lively, new to the Mavericks injury list. He is now out 4 to 6 weeks with a dislocated right elbow. Kyrie Irving, as I said, still out another 4 to 6 weeks with that torn left ACL stemming from last season. Michael Porter Jr. And Terrence Mann are still out. Let's see, Bruce Braun still out with a fractured right socket. Christian Braun still out 1 to 2 weeks, as well as Jonas Valanciunas. Again, Halliburton still out with his injury for the season. Pelicans, nothing to report. Pistons, Jaden Ivey's the only player now on the Pistons. He's still out 4 to 6 months with that vertebrae injury. Raptors, nothing to report. Van Vliet, keep saying he's out for the season. Nothing else there. Spurs, no injuries. That's a good thing because we're seeing them at some point. Suns, nothing to report. The Thunder, we see Caruso is now day-to-day. He still has that hurt designation with that strained right hip injury, but that he suffered in the season opener, but he is now day-to-day. Hartenstein is still out 1 to 2 months. Timberwolves, nothing to report. And let's see here. As I said, Damian Lillard still out for the season. Shaedon Sharp still out 4 to 6 weeks for the Blazers. Nothing for the Warriors. They're now healthy again. Look at the Wizards here. Whitmore out 1 to 2 months. Torn right meniscus. He's been out for a while. Carrington still out 1 to 2 weeks. Same with McCollum. And that is your injury report for the games played after November 15, 2025. And that's going to do it for this video. I hope you enjoyed it. Please leave a like, comment, and subscribe if you are new to this channel. And don't forget to hit the bell icon to receive notifications for this project as well as my College Football 26 content coming out. And I just want to remind everybody, don't forget that around 12 p.m. Eastern, I usually like to do my own college football playoff, whether it's through like a simulation website or like last year I did a 24-team college football playoff. This year I'm going to be doing 28, and I'm going to try to make a video of my current projections. That is, of course, after the college football playoff rankings are revealed. So I'll probably be making that a little bit later tomorrow night. And then also, don't forget that tomorrow around 7 p.m. Eastern will be my first Week 11 video for the college football playoff simulation, as now there'll be the first simulations after the college football playoff rankings are revealed. So do keep an eye on that. But again, as I said, thank you guys for watching this. Just want to remind you guys the final score: the Houston Rockets over the Portland Trail Blazers, 100-97 in a very thrilling game. I am Vinny from V-Dub Productions, and I am signing off.